lives. And if you don't do the research that I and others have done, you'll never know anything about them. I can guarantee you that. They meet in secret. They take oaths that they will submit to ritual murder if they betray those oaths. They have infiltrated every level of society, the military, and the government in all of the major nations, the important nations of the world, and most of the smaller nations. And they are, at this moment, I can assure you, in total control of everything. They are propelling the world into what they call a new world order. What they hope will be a utopia on earth for them, with us relegated to the position of mere slaves, much as the people were relegated to their positions in George Orwell's book, 1984. George Orwell was a member of British intelligence and knew what he was writing about. For I first got my glimpse into this plan when I was a member of the Office of Naval Intelligence. And British intelligence and the intelligence agencies of the United States of America are both working closely together to bring this about. And I will prove that to you tonight. I found it intriguing in my research that in most, if not all, primitive societies, all of the adults are members. They're usually separated into male and female groups. The male usually dominates the culture. Surprisingly, this exactly resembles many civilized secret societies, in which they profess to want to give women rights, but in actual practice, they never, ever do. This could only mean that the society is working not against established authority, but is the established authority. In fact, this would tend to remove any validity of any argument that all secret associations are dedicated to the destruction of properly constituted authority. How can they be if they are it? This can only apply, of course, when the secret society makes up the majority or entirety of any people which it affects. Only a very few fall into this category. For those of us here, except for maybe one or two members of these secret societies who have come to see how much we really know and how much of it we are really telling to you, we're left out of this cycle. The actual religion is as old as man. And it began on the first sunrise when the first man opened his eyes on this earth and saw the sun rise up and spread warmth across his body. And he could see, and he could act, and he could run from the wild animals because he could see them far away. He could take care not to step into danger. But then something happened. The sun went down and sank and died. Man was then confronted with the forces of darkness. And man learned that the forces of darkness are not secure, that the beast can sneak up on him in the dark and eat him, that there is no warmth, that he must seek cover or shelter in order to survive. The next morning, however, man was surprised to see the sun was resurrected. It arose from the dead and again traveled across the heavens. It passed over and then died again. And this became the first religion, the worship of the sun. It was the first king who died to be resurrected to save his people. Now, to the priests of this religion, who came later, this was all symbolism for the power of the God of the universe. The sun was the symbol of the God, and the God was called Baal or Baal, spelled B-A-A-L. The oldest name amongst the people for this order was the Brotherhood of the Snake, also called the Brotherhood of the Dragon. And it still exists under many different names and many different occupations, some seemingly opposing the other. But they're all find the synthesis first, what they want, and then they create the two forces that oppose each other that they know beforehand will create and bring about the synthesis. And people think it all happened by accident. The Brotherhood of the Snake is devoted to guarding the secrets of the ages. They conceal the truth from the people and have been hoarding and guarding secret technology since the beginning of man. And they're devoted to the recognition of Lucifer as the one and only true God. Now let me make something clear here. They don't really believe that Lucifer is God. They deal in symbology, and they heap layers of symbology upon symbology so it is difficult to penetrate to the truth. Lucifer is the symbol of the Luciferian philosophy, which is this. Man was held prisoner in the Garden of Eden by an unjust and vindictive God, and he was set free from the bonds of ignorance by Satan on the orders of Lucifer. Some say they're the same. Doesn't matter what you believe, this is their story. I'm going to tell it the way they believe it. But they set man free with the gift of intellect, and through the use of the gift of intellect, man himself will become God. Lucifer is the symbol of the intellect, the brain, Baphomet. That's what the Templars truly worshipped. They didn't worship the skull. The skull was the symbol, the receptacle of the brain, the intellect. It is pure humanism. They were also the first communists. And communists came from them. And our enemy was never communism. Our enemy has always been the Brotherhood of the Snake. It is clear, ladies and gentlemen, that religion has always played a significant role in the course of these organizations and in human events throughout history. Whether or not you personally are religious makes no difference whatsoever. What religion you believe in also makes no difference whatsoever. If they have the power and they believe this story or this philosophy, it will affect you no matter what you believe, no matter who you are, no matter where you live. That is the reality of the world. The quicker we understand that, the better off we will be. Communication with a higher source, often divine, is a familiar claim in all but a few of these organizations. The secrets of these groups are thought to be so profound that only a chosen, well-educated few are able to understand and use them. These men use their special knowledge for the benefit of all mankind, and that's their rationalization for the terrible things that they perform in order to reach the end. And they believe that the end always justifies the means.